There is no other game like this. The Ohio State Buckeyes taking on the Michigan Wolverines. There is no rivalry in all of sports like this. There is no place, no other game where one team, the loser of this game, can go on and win a championship and the other fan base has the right to say, yeah, but you couldn't beat us, so does it really matter? And then there is validity to it. I am telling you as an Ohio State fan, there is validity to that argument, and in no other game can people say that. This game is epic. You go all the way back to the 1950 Snow Bowl. 45 punts, ended up getting a coach fired, escort in. One, Wayne Woodrow Hayes, who won 5 national championships with the Buckeyes, including 1968, where he hung 50 on Michigan, and when he scored 50, he went for 2. When asked why he went for 2, he said, "'Cause I couldn't go for 3. And then the following year, a young Bo Schembechler, a former assistant of Woody Hayes, the student, beats the master in upset fashion up in the big house and ignites the 10-year war. To much chagrin of the Ohio State fans, Michigan took that 10-year war by a tally of 5-4-1, and the most infamous game of them all is that one, the tie. Ohio State, John Hicks, Brian Bashnagel, shout out to you. Archie Griffin leading the charge as well, tearing down that banner in the big house and getting the vote after the game tied to go to the Rose Bowl. Then you had the Earl game, you had the John Cooper years, and legendary performances by Desmond Howard and Charles Woodson, who'd go on to win the Heisman. But this rivalry went dry for a while. Jim Tressel had completely taken it over. Ohio's son, a Youngstown man. He came in and he took this rivalry by storm. Only lost 1 game to the Wolverines and flipped it on its head in the snap of a finger, going up there in 2001, getting a dub, beating them in dramatic fashion in 2002 to go to win the national championship. Then Urban Meyer comes into town after the Fickle year. Michigan wins a game and they're like, look, we might turn the tide here. Not so fast. Urban Meyer 7-0 versus that team up north, and you thought it would continue after a 56-27 victory for Ryan Day in his first year, but no. Jim Harbaugh, after the COVID season, after getting a pay cut, built his program to specifically beat Ohio State, and that is what they have done for 4 years straight. And Michigan legends are now in the books. Hassan Haskins, J.J. McCarthy. Then you got Donovan Edwards with what he was able to do. You got Blake Corum and Kalel Mullings and Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant. It doesn't stop with the new group of legends that have come up. And now, with both of these teams having so many players that have not experienced being the guy in the game, opportunities are going to be there for young players. Let's get into the full preview here. Enough tease on all of that. We are going to pull it up here. The Ohio State Buckeyes, number 1 in the country from week 2. I've had them number 1 since the start of the year, all the way till now. They go on the road to take on a challenge that they have not faced. That is, number 1, the pressure of the rivalry game. Number 2, a hostile road environment against the playoff contender. And number 3, none of these guys have ever won this game. I just went on a 3 to 4 minute diatribe on saying how this game is different. And part of the difference is this rivalry is so streaky. And I have said all year that how can you be confident that the Buckeyes are going to flip the script up in Ann Arbor after last year, when none of these guys know how it is? This rivalry is mental. And when a team goes on a streak like that, it's hard to break that streak because one side has the confidence, dare I say arrogance, that they're going to waltz in there and whoop your behinds every single year. And the other has the burden of trying to prove that other team wrong, other program wrong, and flip the tide of this rivalry. And Ohio State needs to flip it back in their favor now. How is Ohio State going to do that? Well, I'm going to start with that run defense, and it starts with Caden McDonald. Outland Trophy finalist. This kid is an absolute freak show. He's a beast. Watch out for Caden McDonald, big number 98, in the middle to try to clog things up. I think I like the matchup with Ohio State against the tackles, but I also think Caden McDonald against the interior of that offensive line is going to be able to have success against Michigan. I also think it helps that you have Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles, who are athletic freaks, but also Peyton Pierce, who's been really good in the run game. And it also helps that your secondary's been really good in the run game. When you are talking about two safeties and Jalen McClain and Caleb Downs, who can get very physical and they move around a lot pre-snap and post-snap, and they're very athletic, watch out. So the problem I'm going to see with Michigan, the biggest problem is Chip Lindsey is going to go to his RPO game at certain points. Ohio State's going to make those windows tight. Will Bryce Underwood read those reads right when he is RPO hitches, RPO slants, and different stuff that they're going to do in that run pass option look? Is Bryce Underwood going to make the right decisions? And is he able to thread the needle and make it super duper accurate? Because these are tight NFL-like windows that Ohio State makes you throw into. Michigan will try to pound the rock plenty, though. And what Michigan does try to do is they try to lull you to sleep. They try to weigh on you. And then, boom, out the gates goes Jordan Marshall. That's what they're going to try to do. And Jordan Marshall, Ohio kid, went to Cincinnati Archbishop Moeller. And Ohio State did really want him. And Michigan took him from the Buckeyes. And this kid is looking to prove something in the game against his home state team. Now, when Ohio State has the football, it's pretty simple. We can be confident now, more confident than we have been all week, that both Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith are going to play. I am very certain Jeremiah Smith is going to play, and he's probably going to look pretty good. I don't think it's that concerning. Carnell Tate, on the other hand, is a little bit more iffy, but it's starting to trend in the direction of he's going to be good to go. Will Ohio State be able to throw the ball, and will they commit to throwing the football to those guys? Because last year, they didn't even try to throw the ball to those guys, and they had one other guy who is tearing it up in the NFL with Emeka Egbuka. And the other thing, too, Max Clare, he's going to be a nightmare for this Michigan Wolverines team. I don't know how Michigan's going to be able to cover Max Clare. They've struggled against tight ends all year long. But the thing about this game is it's so much different. And Ohio State, when you look at last year, they had all of the tools and had all of the ability, more so than this year, to go and beat the Wolverines, and they straight up sold. They straight up tried to win a certain way, and if you're a Buckeye fan, you got to be scared that Ryan Day is going to do that again this year. And they're going to try to win the game a certain way because they're scared of the narrative that they're soft and can't win it their way. One problem. You woke up a monster that day. You woke up a monster when you tried to plant that flag. And ever since the flag planting incident last year, Ohio State has been chomping at the bit to destroy everybody and prove everybody wrong. And you think this team's not circled on the calendar even more? Are you kidding me? You're giving me Ryan Day in a revenge spot with that happening? Oh, he's flipping the tide. And this Ohio State team is flipping the tide this year. Buckeyes are going to win this game. No doubt about it. The Ohio State Buckeyes are going to take this rivalry back. The Buckeyes have owned the Wolverines my whole life, and it's about time they prove that they can keep it going. Ohio State wins. They ruin Michigan's season and march on to the Big Ten championship and have a meeting with Indiana. See you guys in the next video.